So this is what I didn't touch when it initially started, when the story initially blew up a couple of weeks ago. But this is the most, again, we're talking about what soulless vassals the Democrats have become. This is perhaps the finest example of all of them. So there was a little girl, she was 11 years old in Texas, named Jocelyn Rojo Carranza, and she committed suicide. Now, this was initially reported by every left-wing media personality and grifter and news source in the country that the reason this girl committed suicide is because her mother's immigration status was, let's say, questionable, and her classmates were bullying her, saying they were going to call ICE and have her mother deported so that she would be left in the country alone. So she got depressed and killed herself. Well, that's been the official story for the longest time, and I didn't cover it because not because I want to cover up our own anything. First off, these are 11-year-old kids. It's not our side. It wouldn't be covering that up. But because I knew that there was more to this story, because every time the Democrats come up with some story like this, like you saw with the girl in Mississippi, the 13-year-old or whatever that, got raped and didn't get an abortion because it wasn't allowed, but it turned out it was allowed. And the reason that she didn't get the abortion was because her parents were told by left-wing grifters online that if they tried to get one, they'd be arrested. So they were misinformed and their own party forced her to have the rape baby. They stopped talking about that one as well. The reason they stopped talking about this story, though, and I knew something like this was going to come, so I was like, okay, let's just sit here and wait. The reason they stopped talking about this story was because there was a little bit more to it. Now, what they reported is that her so-called MAGA classmates were terrorizing her to the point she committed suicide. Side note, 11-year-olds are not MAGA. They're not MAGA, they're not liberal, they're not conservative, they're not independent, they're 11-year-olds. They don't have fully developed brains, nor do they have fully developed opinions. Were you thinking about tariffs, Mia, and immigration policy when you were 11 years old?
Of course. I don't know what you were thinking about.
That's all I was thinking about. Yep. Foreign aid, things like that. So, as it turns out, the school stepped in and said, hey, this sensationalist bullshit, not only is it not helping, and is it rubbing dirt in the situation, or is it rubbing salt in the wound here? It's not telling the whole story. This is intentionally leaving key details of the story out. So as it turned out, according to New York Post and an investigation by the school district, there was one student on the bus who made racial comments about ICE and deportation to a group of Hispanic students on the bus while she was in earshot, not directly to her, not threatening to deport her or to report her, but made a comment to a group of students on the bus. That's not why she killed herself, believe it or not. The reason she killed herself is because she was being sexually abused, reported it, and nobody did anything. And the Democrats have run with this story, and of course they've stopped talking about it. They haven't. We correct ourselves whenever we get something wrong on this show, but they haven't stopped, or they've completely ceased talking about it. They haven't issued any type of retraction. They haven't corrected the issue on the record. They just let it die. And the majority of their followers, the majority of their base, will never hear the truth about this story. And that's why it's going to be hard to get justice for this girl. Now, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to speculate on family life or anything like that. But this is evidence that there is no low that the left is not willing to stoop to. No low. They will go as low as they can if it means they can hurt the so-called other side. Whether it be not clapping for a little boy with brain cancer, whether it be spreading rumors about a girl who killed herself at 11 years old because she was being sexually abused by God knows who. But anything for the ends always justify the means, right, you guys? You fucking idiots make me sick.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.